Okay, Ben, nice to see you again, mate. Always a pleasure. So Ben, you do therapist and you do jiu-jitsu as well, right? So Ben's studying with me on the Embodied Facilitator course. This is someone that we can probably go a little bit more into, because tell me if I'm wrong, but there's good trust there. Yes. We were friends before you were a student, so we got quite a good relationship, and we can probably dive in a little bit with this one. Though, of course, who's in charge? You are. Okay, you've done this before with me, you know that. Yeah. All right, so is there anything like relationally we can look at? Like anything involving other human beings?
Yeah, definitely. I think something with authority, actually.
With authority?
Yeah, with authority.
Okay.
So I thought, who better?
Who better? Sensei Walsh. Okay, should we do a bit of stuff with like leading? Would that be relevant to it? And absolutely. Where is this coming up for you? Like work, play, like where's this?
I think it's something almost of like, how do I have a voice with authority? So it could be even just when we're in dialogue as, student, teacher. But it could be how do I step into that for myself as well? There's something there. I can't quite grab with that piece. I don't know with it, but it's just something of just like, in a dynamic like that, how do I just be me as well as you being in your position of authority?
Okay.
Kind of find a different position for myself, which doesn't always feel like it's me. It's like a adaptation for the setting. And of course,
okay, so when you're as a student, and it sounds like it's about authenticity.
Yeah, it is. It goes into that, because I find a more adapted state. It's just like works to be a student. But work always to be a student and me.
Okay, great. Let's do a bit of leader follower. You've seen this movie before. It's a good sort of work course. Can you come this way a little bit? There we go. Okay, so if you follow as a student, first of all. Okay, so you're Ben the student as opposed to Ben the human. All right, I'll take care of you there. Don't worry, I won't walk you into a wall. Just go around a few times. Okay, what are you noticing as Ben the student?
There's a sort of deference almost. I'll just move back where you need me to move.
You notice the shaking?
There is a little of that in
your hands.
It's pulsing
in your wrist, is it? Okay. Yeah. And the deference, how does that live in the body?
It's just like tight. The breath's not as easy. It's kind of like this, okay. Like contact with an authority.
Mark the authority figure. Okay, got it.
Oh, there we go. That's different.
Okay, how does that show up in your life?
I think the learning environment is one in particular, but it could be at work as well. Like, how is it you're gonna find your voice and be challenging in a
first person?
Yeah. How am I gonna be?
Sorry, this is sign language. Yeah. He knows this symbol. It's not like a rude gesture.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like, how am I going to find my voice when it needs to be there in a moment at, say, work, where something's to be challenged? I'm kind of like, I don't know if I can quite say this.
Yeah.
In another setting, I'll be like, I'm going to say what I just got to speak my mind.
And that's normal. It makes sense that when people are in a student role or a work setting. Okay, so let's go again. Okay, and this time, how would you be, rather than deferent, how would you like to be?
Well, I think it'd be like I'll meet you somewhere.
Okay, so it's a meeting here.
The thing of like, I just lead then. So it's kind of like that.
Okay, can you follow while meeting and being authentic? That was another part of it,
I would say that's like a core part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that draws down into.
Okay, so Ben, authentic, but you're still following. We'll do leading afterwards. Yeah.
But that's the tension. There's like there's not much of a space by which those.
So what's the space we're trying to open up?
Well, the space is almost like between following authentically, just that, because otherwise it would be like I'll either would try to lead or I would just follow without me. Okay,
so follow without you is one option.
Yeah.
Leading, like fuck it, I'm taking control, is another. Yeah. So how can you follow authentically?
Yeah.
So let's what's the answer to all questions in embodiment, Ben? Answer to all questions. Don't let me down. The camera's rolling. Come on. What are you going to do to get better at something? What do you have to do to get better at something?
Notice what I do in my body.
Great, and then practice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah? Notice and practice, awareness and choice. Yeah? Okay, so following authentically. Still Ben, still meeting me?
Yeah.
Okay, that feels more like you. You feel that? I'm like, it's my mate. Okay, cool. Yeah. Not some weird student impersonation of my mate. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because we're actually both, right? We were friends before you were students, so you know how to do this with me.
Rolling.
I'm sure you choked me out the first time you met me. Okay. How's that? That feels nice to me. How's it feel to you? It feels really nice. You feel nice?
Yeah, it's just the contact that I'm not used to having almost.
Okay, and how would that look in conversation? Because we learn it with the body, then we move to conversation, right? So if I was like, Ben, so I'm teaching you, come on, it's awareness and choice. Why didn't you remember that? Come on, you let me down. You're not being teachery.
There's me going back into kind of like, I fucked it up. Or what do you know
so as opposed to, instead come forward. So Ben, awareness and choice, come on, you forgot that. What's going on? So just be Ben.
Wow.
Do this, push. A little bit of contact. Okay, well, awareness and choice, come on, Ben, what's going on?
I suppose I forgot.
All right, no big deal. Shit happens.
So it happens. I'm sure you'll tell me again.
Yeah, I'll tell you again. All right, how did that feel?
It's better. It's like it's honest.
Feels better for me too.
Yeah.
Feels much better.
Yeah.
Like I notice myself sort of glowing and kind of like, I like this guy. You know? As opposed to like, student pretending to be this, because it's a bit. Well, I feel it as a student's being something else. I'm not really in contact with them.
Yes.
There's no real relationship there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that a lot for me. So it's. Yeah, I always wonder how it's received on the other end. I do get a sense of like, I wonder if they're just thinking I'm not interested or,
It's harder. It's okay. I don't feel like it's disrespectful or anything, but it's a little bit like I'm longing for a meeting.
Yeah. Which is the same for me, and it's kind of like, how does that meeting go?
Okay, so how can you practice this?
I've got a posture because I'm on your course. So
You're doing authority pose. Show me your authority pose.
So, like.
So I'd say authority pose is for when you're teaching, and that's good. That's the opposite way around, right? But what about receiving pose?
Great.
Try receive, because this is receiving authentically. Yeah. So similar feet, but your weight's back, and the hands are here. Okay. Now in contact. There we go. That's it. Now do that without contact. Do the sort of inauthentic. Now do the contact. Great, because this is what you said you want to work on, the receiving. Oh, watch the barrier. Fingers flat, there we go. Yeah, contact, there we go. Okay, so working on receiving, being a student or employee or, husband or whatever the position is, but authentically. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, just do a little contrast with the not authentic or the not.
It just sort of slips away.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel my energy.
It's just the subtle coming forwards, isn't it?
It just moves away a bit. I turn from it almost. If I'm not actually turning, but I could turn.
It's like.
Yeah. Whereas this is like,
cool, Ben. We were laughing about this the other day. We're like, I'm cool,
Yeah. So actually, there's something about being forward in this.
With the connection, yeah? So receiving with connection.
Yeah.
As opposed to being an authority, which is great, you can keep practicing that if you want. Yeah. Or like leading, if you're like, you can lead me if you wouldn't mind. Okay, how's that?
Yeah, probably challenging for me somewhat as well.
Okay, because of the role.
Because of the role. I'm like, what's
so
that
remember,
like? Go over that side now.
Yeah, embodiment is relational, right?
Yeah.
So you might be perfectly good at this, just not with me.
Yeah,
so it's really important for the coach to remember.
There's places where I need that, I'm like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
But with you, it's kind of like, but that's not the role we're in.
Yeah. So this is the ability to be fluid in roles, right? Like if I come back to training jiu-jitsu, which I'm thinking about it, I'm going to be like the white belt and you're going to be, what are you now?
Brown belt.
Brown belt, check you out. Okay. So I'm going to be like, sensei, what do I do, right? It's a different role, yeah? So we need to be fluid in our roles.
That's it. Well, that's the thing. Fluid with authority.
So tell me something about jiu-jitsu as you walk forward.
Okay. Like there's like a series of positions. And the thing that you're most looking to do is get to the back.
Okay.
But working through a series of positions that have like almost like a hierarchy of dominance.
Okay.
Like which is safer, which is more like kind of, is there more opportunity to...
How's that?
Yeah, it's good. I suppose there's something I know there.
And you're getting the embodiment to come with that. Yeah. So being able to be situationally in those positions. So there's a disconnected receiver or learner, which you probably don't want to practice that much. Connected receiver and then connected leader.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yeah,
we don't need to do disconnected leader because your leading was clear and nice and connected, yeah? Okay, let's leave that for our first session. Thank you very much. It's a really nice example there of when this relationship, this history, and mostly that's very good. Like, I'm probably more clear about giving him assessments. I'm always still checking consent, but it's a bit more relaxed. It's very different from the last session in terms of just a lot of trust, a lot of relationship, shared metaphors, shared practices, like we've done jiu-jitsu together. It's basically distinction coaching, but a lot of it wasn't verbalized. I was like, come forward, because there's these little cues that we were tuned into each other. It can be much easier to do that. but fairly classic distinction coaching. And then realizing he had a practice, but realizing it wasn't quite the right practice, because this is authority as a leader, whereas this is more like the receptive role that, you know, on your own, you can't do this with a partner. So the receiving one was the practice. So, you know, realizing the practice needs adjusting and noticing that relational quality, which can also be, it has to be taken out of the equation, because he's going to be one way with me as opposed to everyone else because of the nature of our history. So we found a way of loosening that and getting more flexible with that. So that relational layer of embodiment always needs to be considered.